I get lots of calls from both tenants and landlords asking what their responsibilities are after something happens to an apartment. The short answer is, a landlord is responsible for anything that they know or should have known about that causes damage to a property. A tenant is responsible for anything the tenant caused. However, when we're talking about natural disasters, no one really knew about any of this. As a result, a landlord is responsible only for having the insurance coverage that they think is advisable, and a tenant is only responsible for having insurance coverage if it's something they want. This means that when an apartment burns down, no one's really responsible unless the fire itself was caused by either the tenant or the landlord. This is frustrating to a lot of people. If the tenant doesn't have insurance, that means the tenant loses everything and can't recover a single penny to get their stuff. If the landlord doesn't have insurance, it means similarly the landlord could lose all or part of his building and not be able to fix it. This is why it's so important, if you're a landlord, to have property insurance and liability insurance. And if you're a tenant, it's so important to have renter's insurance. Because at the end of the day, a landlord is responsible for a tenant for a lot of things. And a tenant is responsible to a landlord for a lot of things. But more likely than not, neither one of you is responsible to each other for natural disasters. If you've suffered a loss and you're either a tenant or landlord, it still makes sense to talk to an attorney and figure out if you have a claim. You may have a claim against either your tenant or your landlord, or you may even have a claim against another property owner.